Can you imagine a world where we're not just visiting Mars, but actually living there? Where spacecraft travel faster than anything we've ever built, and where robots more advanced than anything in science fiction are exploring the cosmos? Well, NASA has just revealed technologies that seem straight out of a dream, and what you're about to discover will leave you absolutely speechless. Today, I'm going to reveal the 8 most mind-blowing future technologies NASA is developing right now, including a technology at number 1 that will completely redefine what it means to be human. Stay until the end, because what NASA is planning will change everything you thought you knew about our future in space. Number 8. Nuclear thermal propulsion engines. We start with something that has just shattered every rule of space travel as we know it. NASA's nuclear thermal propulsion system is a game-changer that will cut travel time to Mars from 9 months down to just 45 days. To give you an idea, that's faster than most people spend planning their vacation, and we're talking about traveling 140 million miles through space. How is such speed possible? The secret lies in nuclear fission reactions that heat hydrogen propellant to extreme temperatures, creating thrust that's twice as powerful as the best chemical rockets we have today. It's like comparing a horse-drawn carriage to a supersonic jet. The difference is that dramatic. But here's what's truly revolutionary about this technology. Traditional chemical rockets are limited by the energy density of their fuel. You can only get so much power out of burning chemicals together. Nuclear thermal propulsion completely breaks through that ceiling. By using a nuclear reactor to superheat the propellant, NASA has unlocked energy levels that were previously impossible. The reactor core reaches temperatures of over 2,500 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt most metals, yet the engineering is so precise that it remains completely stable and controllable. What's most impressive is the efficiency. This system provides thrust that's 2 to 5 times more efficient than conventional rockets, which means spacecraft can carry less fuel and more payload, more scientific equipment, more supplies, more everything that astronauts need to survive and thrive on Mars. NASA isn't just theorizing about this technology. They're actively testing it right now in partnership with DARPA, with plans to demonstrate the system in space by 2027. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's science fact. And it's happening faster than anyone expected. The implications are staggering. Shorter travel times mean less radiation exposure for astronauts, reduced psychological stress from long confinement, and the ability to respond quickly to emergencies. This technology isn't just making Mars closer, it's making the entire solar system accessible in ways we never dreamed possible. Number 7. Autonomous AI systems for deep space. In 7th place, we have something that sounds like it came straight out of a Hollywood movie, but it's very real and already being tested. NASA's autonomous artificial intelligence systems are designed to operate spacecraft and make critical decisions without any human input, even when they're billions of miles from Earth. Here's why this is absolutely crucial. When you're communicating with a spacecraft near Mars, there's a 20-minute delay each way. That means if something goes wrong, by the time mission control on Earth even knows about it, 40 minutes have passed. In space, 40 minutes can mean the difference between mission success and catastrophic failure. NASA's solution is revolutionary. They've developed AI systems that can perceive their environment, analyze situations, make decisions, and take action all on their own. These aren't simple automated systems following pre-programmed instructions. These are genuine artificial intelligence systems that can learn, adapt, and solve problems they've never encountered before. The technology uses advanced machine learning algorithms that have been trained on millions of scenarios. The AI can identify system malfunctions, reroute power, adjust trajectories, and even repair certain problems using onboard robotic systems, all without waiting for instructions from Earth. What's most striking about this technology is its ability to handle the unexpected. Space is unpredictable. Equipment fails in ways engineers never anticipated. Environments present challenges that weren't in the mission plan. NASA's AI systems are designed to be creative problem solvers, capable of thinking through novel situations and finding solutions that might not be in any manual. The system has already been tested on the International Space Station, where it successfully managed complex experiments and responded to simulated emergencies faster and more effectively than human operators could have from the ground. NASA is now preparing to deploy these AI systems on the Artemis missions to the Moon and eventually on the journey to Mars. We're witnessing the birth of truly intelligent machines that will be humanity's partners in exploring the cosmos. Number 6. In situ resource utilization technology. In sixth place, we have technology that completely changes the economics and feasibility of space exploration. NASA's in situ resource utilization, or ISRU technology, allows astronauts to manufacture everything they need using materials found on other planets. Instead of carrying every single thing from Earth, which is incredibly expensive and limits mission duration, astronauts will be able to produce water, oxygen, rocket fuel, and even building materials using resources available on Mars, the Moon, and asteroids. Here's what makes this absolutely revolutionary. It costs approximately $10,000 to send just 1 pound of payload to Mars. A human needs about 2 pounds of water per day just to survive. For a 2-year Mars mission with a crew of 4, that's over 5,000 pounds of water, which would cost $50 million just for water alone. ISRU technology eliminates that cost entirely. NASA has developed systems that can extract water from Martian soil, which contains ice just below the surface. The technology uses heating elements and chemical processes to separate the water molecules from the regolith, then purify it for human consumption. But it doesn't stop there. That same water can be split into hydrogen and oxygen through electrolysis. The oxygen becomes breathable air for astronauts, and both hydrogen and oxygen can be combined to create rocket fuel for the return journey to Earth. The implications are staggering. With ISRU, Mars missions don't need to carry their return fuel from Earth. They can manufacture it on Mars, which dramatically reduces the mass of the spacecraft, lowers costs, and makes the entire mission more feasible. NASA has already successfully tested a device called MOXIE on the Perseverance rover, which has been producing oxygen from the Martian atmosphere since 2021. The results have exceeded expectations, proving that this technology works in real Martian conditions, not just in laboratories on Earth. This is the technology that will transform Mars from a destination we visit into a place where we can actually live and work for extended periods. It's the foundation for permanent human presence beyond Earth. Number 5. Advanced spacesuits with biomonitoring. The spacesuit of the future isn't just protective clothing. It's a sophisticated life support system, a medical monitoring device, and a mobility enhancement platform all in one. NASA's next-generation spacesuits, called the Exploration Extravehicular Mobility Unit, or XEMU, represent a quantum leap beyond anything astronauts have worn before. These suits are designed for the harsh environments of the Moon and Mars, where astronauts will need to work for hours in extreme conditions, performing complex tasks that require precision and flexibility. What makes these suits extraordinary is the integration of advanced biomonitoring technology. Sensors woven throughout the suit constantly track the astronaut's vital signs, including heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturation, body temperature, and even hydration levels. But here's where it gets really impressive. The suit doesn't just collect this data. It analyzes it in real time using AI algorithms that can detect early warning signs of medical problems before the astronaut even feels symptoms. If the system detects dangerous changes, it can automatically adjust the suit's environment, alert mission control, and even administer emergency medications through an integrated medical system. The mobility improvements are equally remarkable. Previous spacesuits were bulky and restrictive, making even simple movements exhausting. The XEMU uses advanced joint designs and bearing systems that allow astronauts to walk naturally, bend at the waist, and even kneel down, something that was impossible in older suits. The gloves are particularly impressive, providing enough dexterity that astronauts can pick up small objects and operate complex equipment without the frustration and hand fatigue that plagued earlier missions. NASA has also solved one of the most annoying problems of spacewalks: the inability to scratch an itch or adjust anything once you're sealed in the suit. The new design includes a small drink bag, a nutrition system, and even a waste management system that's far more comfortable and hygienic than previous solutions. These suits are being tested right now in underwater facilities and vacuum chambers that simulate space conditions. Astronauts who've tested them report that they feel less like wearing a bulky protective shell and more like having a second skin that enhances their capabilities. When humans finally walk on Mars, they'll be doing it in suits that are smarter, more capable, and more comfortable than anything we've ever created. Now, before we continue with the remaining incredible technologies, if you're enjoying this journey into NASA's future and want to stay updated on the most amazing innovations that are reshaping our world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, what's coming next will blow your mind even more, and you won't want to miss it. Let's keep going. Number 4. 3D printing habitats on Mars. We reach 4th place with technology that will literally build our future homes on another planet. NASA's 3D printing habitat technology can construct entire living structures on Mars using nothing but Martian soil and autonomous robots. This isn't a concept anymore. NASA has already run competitions where teams successfully 3D printed habitat prototypes here on Earth, and the technology is being refined for deployment on Mars within the next decade. Here's why this is so crucial. Building traditional structures on Mars would require transporting massive amounts of construction materials from Earth, which is prohibitively expensive and logistically impossible for large-scale colonization. NASA's solution is elegant and revolutionary. Robots equipped with 3D printing technology will arrive on Mars before humans do. These robots will collect Martian regolith, the dusty soil that covers the planet's surface, and process it into a printable material. The regolith is mixed with a binding agent, and then the 3D printer deposits it layer by layer, building up walls, domes, and complex structures that can withstand the harsh Martian environment. The habitats being designed are far more sophisticated than simple shelters. They include radiation shielding, which is critical because Mars has no magnetic field to protect against cosmic radiation. The thick walls, printed from Martian soil, provide natural protection. The designs also incorporate airlocks, life support system integration points, and modular sections that can be expanded as the colony grows. What's truly impressive is the speed and efficiency. A single 3D printing robot can construct a habitat large enough for 4 astronauts in just 30 days, working autonomously without human supervision. Multiple robots working together could build an entire Mars base in a matter of months. NASA has tested these systems in extreme environments on Earth, including deserts and Arctic regions, proving that the technology works in conditions similar to Mars. The agency is now developing the robots and printing systems that will be sent on early Mars missions to begin construction before the first humans even leave Earth. By the time astronauts arrive on Mars, their homes will be waiting for them, fully constructed and ready for occupancy. This technology transforms Mars colonization from an impossible dream into an achievable reality. Number 3. Fusion propulsion systems. In 3rd place, we have technology that makes even nuclear thermal propulsion look slow. NASA is developing fusion propulsion systems that could theoretically reach Mars in just 30 days and could eventually enable travel to the outer planets in timeframes that were previously unimaginable. Fusion is the same process that powers the Sun, where atomic nuclei combine to release enormous amounts of energy. If we can harness that power for spacecraft propulsion, we unlock speeds and capabilities that dwarf anything we have today. The challenge with fusion has always been containing and controlling the reaction. It requires temperatures of millions of degrees, and until recently, we couldn't sustain fusion reactions long enough to be useful. But NASA, in partnership with private companies and research institutions, has made breakthrough progress. They've developed magnetic confinement systems that can contain fusion plasma and extract usable energy from the reaction. The propulsion system works by using the energy from fusion reactions to accelerate propellant to extremely high velocities, creating thrust that's orders of magnitude more powerful than chemical or even nuclear thermal rockets. What makes fusion propulsion truly revolutionary is the energy density. A small amount of fusion fuel contains as much energy as thousands of tons of chemical rocket fuel. This means spacecraft can be smaller, lighter, and faster, while carrying more payload. The implications for space exploration are profound. With fusion propulsion, the outer planets become accessible. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, which currently take years to reach, could be visited in months. Interstellar missions, sending probes to nearby star systems, transition from multi-generational journeys to missions that could be completed within a human lifetime. NASA is currently testing fusion reactor components and expects to have a working prototype propulsion system within the next 15 years. This isn't fantasy. The physics is sound, the engineering challenges are being solved, and the timeline is realistic. Fusion propulsion represents the next giant leap in space travel, the technology that will truly make us a spacefaring civilization capable of exploring the entire solar system and beyond. Number 2. Neural interface technology for astronauts. In second place, we have something that sounds like pure science fiction, but is already in development. NASA is working on neural interface technology that will allow astronauts to control spacecraft systems, robots, and equipment using only their thoughts. This brain-computer interface technology uses sensors that detect neural signals and translate them into commands that machines can understand and execute. Imagine an astronaut on Mars who needs to operate a rover exploring a dangerous area. Instead of using a joystick or keyboard, they simply think about where they want the rover to go, and it goes there. The response is instantaneous, intuitive, and far more efficient than any traditional control system. The technology works by placing a cap with sensors on the astronaut's head. These sensors detect the electrical signals produced by neurons firing in the brain. Advanced AI algorithms decode these signals, learning the unique patterns associated with specific thoughts and intentions. After a brief training period, the system becomes remarkably accurate, allowing users to control complex systems with thought alone. NASA is developing this technology for multiple applications. In spacecraft, neural interfaces could allow astronauts to control navigation, life support, and communication systems without taking their hands off other tasks. During spacewalks, astronauts could operate tools and equipment while keeping both hands free for stability and safety. The medical applications are equally impressive. The neural interface can monitor brain activity for signs of stress, fatigue, or cognitive impairment, providing early warning of problems that could compromise mission safety. But here's where it gets really exciting. NASA is also exploring the possibility of using neural interfaces to enhance human cognitive abilities. By providing direct brain access to computer systems, astronauts could access vast databases of information, perform complex calculations, and even communicate with each other through thought alone, creating a kind of telepathic link between crew members. This technology has already been tested in simulated space environments, with astronauts successfully controlling robotic arms, navigating virtual spacecraft, and operating complex systems using only their minds. The accuracy and speed continue to improve with each iteration. NASA plans to begin testing neural interfaces on the International Space Station within the next 5 years, with full deployment on Mars missions expected by the 2030s. We're witnessing the beginning of a new era where the boundary between human and machine begins to blur, where our thoughts can directly shape the physical world around us. Number 1. Genetic modification for space adaptation. Meet the technology that will fundamentally change what it means to be human. NASA, in collaboration with leading genetic research institutions, is exploring genetic modification technologies that could adapt human biology for long-term survival in space and on other planets. This is the most controversial and potentially transformative technology on our list, and it raises profound questions about the future of humanity. Here's the problem NASA is trying to solve. The human body evolved over millions of years to function in Earth-specific environment, with its gravity, atmosphere, radiation levels, and day-night cycles. When we leave Earth, our bodies struggle. Astronauts experience bone density loss, muscle atrophy, vision problems, immune system suppression, and increased cancer risk from radiation exposure. For short missions, these problems are manageable. But for permanent colonies on Mars or multi-year journeys to distant planets, these biological limitations become mission-critical obstacles. NASA's solution is to modify human genetics to make our bodies more resilient to space environments. The research focuses on several key areas. First, radiation resistance. Scientists have identified genes in certain organisms, like tardigrades and extremophile bacteria, that provide extraordinary resistance to radiation. By incorporating similar genetic modifications into human cells, astronauts could withstand radiation levels that would be lethal to unmodified humans. Second, bone and muscle preservation. Genetic modifications could alter how the body responds to low gravity, maintaining bone density and muscle mass even without Earth's gravitational pull. Third, enhanced oxygen efficiency. Modifications inspired by high-altitude animals could allow humans to function with less oxygen, crucial for Mars where the atmosphere is thin and oxygen production is energy-intensive. Fourth, circadian rhythm adjustment. Mars has a 24.6-hour day. Genetic modifications could help human biology adapt to different day lengths on various planets. The technology uses CRISPR gene editing, which allows precise modifications to DNA. NASA is currently conducting experiments on cells and tissues, studying how genetic changes affect their response to simulated space conditions. The results have been promising, with modified cells showing significantly improved survival rates under radiation exposure and low-gravity conditions. But this technology raises enormous ethical questions. If we modify humans for space, are they still fully human? Should we create a new subspecies of humanity adapted for different planets? Who decides what modifications are acceptable? These questions don't have easy answers, and NASA is proceeding carefully, with extensive ethical review and public discussion. What's certain is that if humanity is to become a truly multiplanetary species, living permanently on Mars, the moons of Jupiter, or even traveling to other star systems, we may need to adapt our biology to match those environments. This technology represents the ultimate frontier, not just exploring new worlds, but evolving ourselves to thrive in them. It's the most profound and transformative technology NASA is developing, and it will define the future of human evolution itself. What we've just explored isn't science fiction. These are real technologies being developed right now by NASA and its partners, from engines that can reach Mars in weeks to AI that can think for itself, from 3D printers building Mars bases to genetic modifications that could create a new form of humanity adapted for space. We're living through the most exciting era of space exploration in human history. The question isn't whether these technologies will change everything. It's how quickly they'll arrive and whether we're ready for the profound transformations they'll bring. Which of these technologies impressed you the most? Would you volunteer to be genetically modified to live on Mars? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss our coverage of the incredible technologies shaping humanity's future among the stars. The future is closer than you think, and it's more amazing than you ever imagined. See you in the next one.